Welcome to Draw Tip Tuesday. My name is Koosje Koenen and I'm here on my own creative journey, sharing it all, and hopefully that will give you some guidance on your creative journey. And today I want to talk about negative space. You might have gotten the hint from my earrings already. See? Negative space. So what is negative space? I will talk you through it while I am drawing a kind of randomly put together still life, which will be fun. You can put your own still life together just to practice how to find out how to use the negative space when you are drawing things that might seem complicated. You can make it really a lot easier. Well, I'll explain. Let's draw. Okay, so this is my still life and I will start with this negative space over here. So I'm not looking at the fork, I'm not looking at the necklace, and I'm not looking at the dip pen, but I'm looking at the white that I see in that space between those three subjects. Doing a contour drawing basically, and I'm measuring how large is that part on top of the fork and how large is that part in the lower fork. But still, I'm not drawing the fork, I'm just really drawing the rest that is around the subjects. And my view is just a little bit different than here on camera, but I think you understand where I'm going with this. The negative spaces are what I am focusing on today. And once I have drawn all the negative spaces, I will have actually drawn all of the shapes of these subjects in the still life. And you can see how very slow I am doing this. I am really taking my time and trying to measure and find landmarks to see what goes where and what ends at the height of another shape or curve. And that way I work my way through this part of the drawing. And then I have already drawn so much, even though I have only focused on the white of the background. And of course it's not exactly accurate, but what drawing is. If I would have drawn each single shape one by one of that necklace and of the pen and of the fork, I would not have done this. I would just be at, I think, the second pebble of the necklace, you know. So this slows you down, but at the same time, it makes you a little bit faster in making decisions about your drawing and on seeing all the shapes, because you are actually not drawing the shapes, but you are drawing around them. I have moved on to the outside of the negative space, and because I have already that one side, it's a lot easier to create the rest of the shape of the pebbles of the necklace. But still, I'm not actually drawing the necklace itself and the inside shapes. I'm just drawing the outline that I see, and I'm really looking at the shape around the necklace. And here I'm struggling a bit because I'm like, what goes where? And I see that things are a little bit crooked, but I can't really change this anymore, so I'll just go with it and I'll see how it turns out once I add more details in the shapes themselves. So again, this is a really good chunk of negative space here on the left. And once I've done that, it's quite easy to draw the space around on the right hand side. And sure, some things are a little bit out of proportion, but still, it's not that bad. And I love seeing how things are starting to make sense just by looking at the space around and between all the shapes. Look at that. I think I'm ready to draw the smaller negative spaces right now. So there's all these really tiny bits and pieces here in that bit of chain in the necklace. So I'm trying to capture that. And then there's this whole bunch here. Let's see what I can find. I just need to look for the white background here. It's a bit of a puzzle to find all those white negative spaces, but I think I got them all now, so I will start and draw some of the details. So now I am focusing on the shapes in the still life. I'm not focusing anymore on the background, but I'm just really trying to look at the shapes bit by bit, trying not to be overwhelmed by all the small bits and pieces, just bit by bit, I am going to see what I can fill in and how to make sense of it all. And the negative spaces really help me here, because now it's basically just finishing shapes rather than finding out what goes where, because I already did that. And then of course here with the dip pen, I created a little problem for myself because it's all crooked. I'm trying to sort of fix that, but I don't want to fiddle too much, because then I would only focus on the mistake and emphasize on it. And now there's just one extra line. It's all good. Moving on. Drawing a bunched up necklace like this with all these wooden parts or pebbles or whatever you want to call them might be very overwhelming if you are trying to draw it shape by shape. But when you focus on the negative spaces first, you are really doing yourself a big favor, because you are laying out the whole thing for yourself to fill in the shapes rather than finding out how to make sense of it all. I think I have everything that I need in line. The hard part is over. You basically create a coloring page for yourself this way. But I think it's really important not to be painting very much inside the lines. I like just sort of quickly adding the paint to the paper so that it brings a little bit of extra life to the drawing. Some liveliness, some playfulness. I love that. For the drop shadow, I mix a gray with brown and blue. You can use any kind of brown and any kind of blue. And if you add more brown, the gray becomes a little bit warmer. And if you add more blue, it creates a little bit of a cooler gray. So you can play with this as well and make it your own. Now that the first layer of color has dried, I am adding just another layer to indicate more shading and darker sides on the necklace. And that basically makes this drawing done. I hope this was helpful. A little bit wonky here and there, but if I wouldn't have used that negative space, the drawing would have been way wonkier, and also I probably wouldn't have even known where to start with all of that, all of those sort of pebbles of the necklace and everything that was overlapping, and this gave me really something to hold on to. So I always enjoy this technique a lot because you can see it come together. At first you're like, oh, I know this is not right, and how do I even keep track of the proportions? But things do work out as long as you slow down and really keep looking and not rushing or anything. So I hope you will try and do your own simple still life. Do a little bit of overlapping, not too much. See if you can find gaps everywhere, and then just have fun and play with it, and don't take it all too seriously. Good, we'll have fun next week again. There will be a new Draw Tip Tuesday video, and if you like these videos, that's great. You can actually support me to keep on making them and keep making them available for everyone here for free on YouTube. You can help me out on Patreon, and I will add the link below the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube, because then you won't miss out on my videos. You will get a notification as soon as the new one is published. I'll see you next week. Bye!